Hello everyone, Luke here. Now before we get into the review, I just wanted to make a few very quick announcements. Okay, first of all is that my book that I've been writing, I've been constantly, well, I say constantly, more like about 2 or 3 times that I've actually mentioned it, but yeah, my book that I've been writing, that is nearly done, like 99, just 99% done, not 99.19, no, 99% done. I've still got like a couple of little things to do on it, but hopefully by the end of this week, I will hopefully have it up on Amazon so that people can go buy it, and if it is out when it's out, I will post about it in like the description of the actual video that I do, and I'll also mention it in the video but hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have it up on Amazon this week. And also as well, like I said in some of my last videos, I have joined the Anime Burrito podcast by Kid Otaku. That's probably the thing that people are more interested about. So yeah, I've joined the Anime Burrito by Kid Otaku, which is a podcast where a lot of anime YouTubers, like smaller anime YouTubers, can come together and sort of like introduce themselves, talk about series that they like and what they actually think their theories are on the series, and basically just generally. Sorry, I hit something then. But to basically just have a general discussion and get to know people and make new friends in the community. But yeah, so that's what's happening in my life now. But for now, let's just jump right into The Promised Neverland. Alright, so this will be chapter 169, titled Perfect Scores. Now, this is obviously a reference to the fact that Emma, Ray, and Norman were the perfect scores, like the 3 most perfect scores at Gracefield House. I feel like Norman was the one that was the most entitled, like Norman was absolute perfection, 100%. Ray was second and Emma was third, and again, what I've loved most about this 3 is that they all contribute something different to make them the most absolutely perfect, but they're still kind of like on equal levels with each other. I mean, maybe Norman and Ray were a little bit higher than Emma, but she still was able to keep up with them and still have a perfect score in and of herself. And like Norman was basically like the planner guy, like the most intelligent, the one that could think logically. Ray was like, I feel like Ray was more of like the bookworm, and Emma was like the most athletic out of the 3. That there's no disputing that Emma was the most athletic out of the 3. But yeah, this is a reference to the fact that the title is a reference to obviously them and how perfect their scores were. But for now, let's just jump right into the chapter. And also, I want to say that I feel like we've only got it is only going to go to either chapter 175 or 180. I feel like it's going to end at 180. If it goes on for more than 180, I will be pleasantly surprised. Alright, so the chapter starts off with a colour cover page where we see Chibi, Emma, Ray, and Norman just lounging about in Gracefield House with Isabella, and I really like this moment, as even though Isabella has been like quite an evil bitch, and I know what happens at the end of this chapter, but that still doesn't take away the fact that that doesn't excuse the horrible things that she has done, and that if she had just actually gone through with some of the things that she wanted to go through in her channel and hadn't given up, then she wouldn't have as much guilt on her hands or as much blood in her hands as she does now, because even though it is revealed at the end of the chapter that she's not necessarily a bad guy, there's still a lot of blood on her hands, so that doesn't excuse the horrors that she has done. And I don't care what anyone says, because there is one person who has the upper hand on me at this moment in time. But yeah, going back to it, the cover page itself is actually really, really nice, and I'm not going to take away from it, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that Isabella has done a lot of evil herself in the past. God knows how. Wait, how long has it been since she's been, probably about 10, 12, at least 12 years, basically. But anyway, moving on from the cover page itself, we pick up when we're going into like a little bit of a flashback where we see where we see from the perspective of the children, based on what Peter Atari actually said throughout the last chapter. Because if you remember, Peter Atari had this like incredible parent complex, God complex, and basically was like, yeah, I may have not actually given birth to you, but without me here, there would be no farms, and therefore you guys wouldn't even exist the way you are now. So in a twisted psychological sense, in my sick, twisted mind, I am your father. But now we get the perspective of the children, as they go on to say, if there were no farms, our families and friends would not have been killed to be served for food. If it wasn't for you, that abundant hunting ground wouldn't have existed. And I love how we're getting like little flashbacks to all the previous arcs in the series as well. So we're like getting flashbacks to Gracefield House, flashback to Goldie Pond, flashback to when Lamedy was actually a thing before Norman destroyed it. But yeah, I love how we're getting like little flashbacks to see where the series has actually come and like what actual directions it's actually taken. Some people are more accepting of it than others. I'm personally in the accepted camp because what I've loved about the series is how it's tackled different genres but still kept the horror element. So it's like we've had Gracefield House, which was a survival horror. We've had the last few arcs, so like the arcs from chapter 100 to now, it's been more like a political horror, and the bit in the middle was more like an action-oriented horror. So it's kind of like we've had these different genres sprinkled throughout, but they've like kept the horror theme, and it's interesting to see how far they've actually come, and like and also the kind of moments that have actually happened in the series. So anyway, continuing on. They go on to say, if it wasn't for your Atari clan, the world wouldn't be this way. And while that is actually true, it was no better. It was no better 1,000 years ago, because it still had humans and demons killing and slaughtering each other all the time. And it was only what Julius, in his sick, twisted mind, thought was the right thing to do in order to like keep it a level playing field. But in a sense, he actually made it much worse for the generations going down the line. But even if he had not done anything, it still wouldn't have been any better than what the situation they were in at that moment in time. And Julius himself was kind of a backstabbing bastard because he served up all his friends. He basically did a Griffith from Berserk. And now, while I've not seen Berserk myself personally, I know what exactly happens with Griffith's character, how he kind of like gives himself to the dark side, and he has all his friends and he has most of his friends murdered, just to get himself to become basically, I believe it's like a god's hand. That, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe that's what happens. Like Griffith gives himself over to the dark side, basically becomes a god himself in order to do that. He had to sacrifice all his friends. That's basically similar to what Julius did in the past, like 1,000 years ago, in order to make the promise himself. And they go on to say, this wouldn't be a place where we children are continually being eaten. And yeah, that's kind of a point there that they have there. Score 1 to the kids against Peter Atari. And continuing on, they go, how many children have died because of you? How many have shed tears? And it's basically them saying like, look, regardless of whatever sick, twisted mind you have coming up, it's still you causing this destruction, and you've got the blood of all those kids on your hands. So how many does it take for you to be satisfied? As we finish the flashback, the little flashbacks, we see Peter relaying what he said in the last chapter of how foolish, if there were no farms, the Atari clan if the Atari clan wasn't around, you wouldn't have been born. I'm your creator, your dad. So basically giving into the fact that he has this like parent god complex, like, yeah, if we weren't around, you wouldn't be the same as you are now. And kind of can't fault him on that logic, but even then, you can't fault the logic of the kids as well. And anyway, after hearing this, I believe it's Oliver. Yeah, it's Oliver. It's like, Dad, you can't be serious. My dad, no, our dad, as we get a flashback of Lucas and Hugo. So that's basically Oliver saying like, yeah, we may have not been born the same way that we are now if the Atari clan wasn't here, but Dad, no. No, Lucas was my dad. That's basically what Oliver is saying. Like, Lucas is his dad, and we get to see Oliver as a little kid, when he, I believe when he first made it to Goldie Pond and found Lucas, and Lucas was paying him, and Lucas was a lot older than Oliver. I honestly, when I first saw them, I thought the relationship was like more brother, like younger brother, older brother. But no, looking back on it, it was more of the fact that Lucas saved him and gave him a chance to actually live longer than what he was meant to be actually should have told. So basically, he gave him a life, and Oliver saw that in Lucas and saw him as a father, regardless of if Lucas actually gave birth to him or not. But no, even if that's the case, he still saw Lucas as his father. And I love that, and again, I love how we've constantly been going back to Lucas and Hugo, showing that despite them being dead and despite them being long gone, they still played an integral role in the series, and basically without them, I don't think any of the kids would have made it as far as they have done right now. As Oliver thinks back on Lucas and Hugo, he's naturally really pissed off at Peter Rattari as he goes, "Our father is definitely not you," and we get caught up with what was at the end of the last chapter, where we have all the kids surrounding Peter Rattari, and Oliver orders him on his knees, as we see just how pissed off all of them are at him, and you can imagine just the adrenaline that's going through their minds now. It's like, we finally got him. We finally got the bastard that's the leader of everyone, the bastard that's killed everyone, the bastard that took our father away from us. But basically, just like the evil scumbag, we finally got him at this point, and it's just like, we are gonna let him go through as much hell as we have been going through. And I love that, like just seeing like more different angles from all of these kids of just how naturally really pissed off they are at this point. And as they're getting Peter Rattari calmed down, as they're getting Peter Rattari on his knees, this is one of the points that I am actually really pissed off about. The fact that Vincent is still alive. You know what? Fine. Whatever, but seriously, they had a perfectly good moment there where he went out like a motherfucking boss, but no, he's still alive. Now, does it make sense? Yes, it does, because he was shot in the shoulder. He wasn't shot in the head, he wasn't shot in that, he was shot in the shoulder, but still, just kill off some kid characters, please. Please. But anyway, moving on, we find out from a flashback that Harity actually left the room because he was in the room with Nigel, Vincent, and the Adam Close, but he actually left, and we see we get a flashback from what actually happened there, where Vincent's like, "I'm not leaving this area, but Harity, can I rely on you to go and secure an escape route?" And Nigel says, if we end up not catching up to you, don't come back here. Go and meet up with Oliver's group. And so Harity actually agrees to that, and we see the flashback of when Peter actually first contacted Norman in the previous chapters, and Harity was going, "A guy's voice, is it the head of the Rattari clan? Yes, that's definitely that's precisely the situation. What did all?" And he's like, and it's like all these thoughts are going in German dialect. It's like, what did all the kids get captured? Did all the groups get captured? Is it all over for all of us? What's going on? And he's like, crap, this is so bad. So what should I do? And he thinks to himself, he's like, well, it's obvious. And then we see him just going and attacking all the guards that actually have guns pointing at the other groups that are not Vincent's group. So he actually attacked, I believe, it's Oliver's group. Like, he goes and meets up with Oliver's group, just like he was ordered to, and he actually attacks the guard that was actually trying to kill Oliver. As he goes, I have to take care of this. And then we see just a gunshot and a bang, and then we cut back to basically the present day. So I believe the gunshot and the bang, that was basically Vincent, Peter actually shooting Vincent at that point. So we come back to what's going on at the current time, as we see Harity being just thankful that Vincent is actually alright and that he thought he had died. Yeah, I thought that too! I thought Vincent had died, and like I said, it would have been a perfect send-off. So as Vincent is recovering from his gunshot wound, he says, I figured I wouldn't be killed immediately. If I died instantly, they wouldn't be able to do the gunpowder ceremony. Okay, fair enough, but still, I would really appreciate the series if it had a lot more stakes, if they actually killed off prominent characters in the series. Like Vincent, despite coming late in the game, he was still a prominent character. We got to know his personality, got to know his relationship with the other characters, especially Norman, and he got a pretty good send-off last chapter. So that would have been a perfect way to actually say, like, yes, one of the key characters in the final arcs is actually dead, and that gives the conflict much more stakes and much more higher conflict and higher drive for the others to actually get through and survive the series. But anyway, Vincent goes on to say thanks for Hatsui saving them, and Don's like, we're good here. We've gained control here. We've gained control here too. As no, is it? Oh no. Don says we're good here as Ray is pinned down one of Peter Atari's henchmen, and Norman has a gun pointed at another one, and Ray goes on to say, we gain control here too. As Norman goes on to say, you seriously had me worried, Vincent. And then okay, a pretty funny moment here from Don. It's what Norman said. So it's like, so from what I can tell, Norman's like, you seriously have me worried, there, Vincent. And then Norman's like, it's what Norman said. Okay, that's a pretty funny moment there. I'll give them that, but still, Vincent should have died in the last chapter. That's all I'll say about it. And yeah, like I said, I'm not afraid. When the series I like does something stupid, I'm going to call it out, and like, yeah, I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that. So carrying on, as we see all the subordinates of Peter Atari and all the demons that are just flat out either dead or just knocked out, we see Peter just giving this annoyed, but annoyed, pissed off, just every negative emotion look that he can actually muster. Like, I'll actually bring it up now. If you just bear with me for a second. Let me just bring it up. Going there. Yeah. It's this look right here. So, don't know. Oh no, you can't. No, you can't actually see. Flip. I forgot because. Oh, flip. So let me just. Sorry about this, guys. That might actually work. Yeah, that works a lot better. So you can see just how pissed off, how much negative emotions in that look from Peter Atari. It's just like, I'm too old for this crap, or this crap's been going on for so long, or basically, I can't believe we lost 2 kids here. And we see everyone has just rendezvoused where Peter Atari is. As we see Sack, Nigel, Oliver, and Gillian just holding him up at gunpoint, like from four different angles. And I love now that Emma has finally had a chance to actually see Peter Atari himself. That was something that I was always worried that was not going to happen. That Emma was not actually going to meet Peter Atari, but now it's clear that she actually has. As Norman goes on to say, you lose, and he's just looking up, and Peter's just looking around at this display and just thinking like, again, he can't believe that he actually lost to these kids. But does that stop Peter in any way? Absolutely not. As he thinks to himself and he's looking around this display, he just starts bursting out into psychotic laughter before we get him just looking like, how stupid. What will you gain from killing me? And it's just like, oh, if he does that for it, like just like that calm, soothing voice with that, that's just creepy. I really hope that the actor that plays Peter Atari does more of a Johan type characteristic. Like, for example, in Monster, Johan is just like this calm, just has this calm demeanor all the time, and it's just like more creepy and more scary when he has that calm demeanor and just talking in a calm, soothing voice than he is going berserk. So I really hope that the actor does that when it does actually get to this point. If it gets to this point where they can actually portray Peter Atari in all his glory. So as Peter carries on from what he was saying and how they will gain nothing from killing him, he goes on to say, even if I lose, you still have no chance of you have no escape route and no chance of winning. Well, maybe if they hadn't figured out, if Emma hadn't found out where there was actually an escape route, which is under Gracefield House, and Gillian goes on to say, no need to worry, thank you very much, and Emma's like, we've disabled the system, the only issue that remains is you, no one can come and save you. We will, but before Emma can actually continue on, Peter cuts her off and says, no one can come and save me, all that's left is me. Let's see. I think you kids have forgotten something as we see a bunch of the mothers just surrounding them all and pointing guns at them. Yes, we have sisters, nuns with guns. I just want to let that sink in. Sisters, nuns with mothers with guns. Yeah, I'm on board with this chapter. It's not every day that you get to see that, just like nuns and mothers and sisters just like bust out artillery and just have it be like a Mexican, like Western style standoff, and this moment here just like actually gets me like really tense, like, oh, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. As we see Norman and Emma just looking around and they're going, what? And Gillian's questioning this as well. Why are they? And Vince's like, they were able to unlock the doors. And Dawn and Gilda are just thinking like, this isn't good. Just when we thought we won, and yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like just when you think you win, just when you think like, okay, you're out of the woods here, another obstacle comes on. You're like, crap. We have to go through all this bullshit again. So as the mothers, sisters, nuns, whatever, surround them and point the guns at everyone, we see one person just stepping out in front of them, who shock Emma, Ray and Norman as they know that it's actually Isabella, and they go, Mom, and we see Isabella just holding like just this sniper rifle in her hands, and yeah, that's a pretty badass moment. I will give them that. That's pretty badass to see Isabella with a sniper rifle herself and just giving no expression to what she's actually thinking, and she points the gun at Emma and locks her on target, and she questions, was it fun outside, Emma? You've destroyed everything. You fought and fought and fought, but no matter how much you resisted, it still ended up this way. Despair is unavoidable. You and everyone else returned. You didn't learn your lesson, and this is the result. And again, you have no idea half the time what Isabella is thinking, whether this can actually mean that you destroyed everything, but despite all of that, you returned, and how foolish was that? Or like, congratulations, Emma, you destroyed everything. Now we can actually focus on what's important, getting out of here and getting out of this system ourselves, because we want to get out of here just as much as you guys do. But anyway, she goes on to say, and this is where we actually get the big reveal of that. She goes on to say, all of you did splendidly, perfect scores for everyone. So basically what Isabella's saying here is, was it fun outside, Emma? You've destroyed everything. You fought. But no matter how much you resisted, it still ended up this way. Despair is unavoidable, and everyone else returned, and you didn't learn your lesson. And this is the result. So basically, what I think is happening here in Isabella's mind, she's kind of like weighing up the options and thinking like, who is best to side with here? The kids that destroyed everything, but despite that, and despite how much they resisted, it was still brought back to us. Or do we still side with Piratari and still go with the status quo? And we immediately get Isabella's resolve. She goes on to say, again, all of you did splendidly, perfect scores for everyone, which is a reference to the title of the chapter. Now, okay, so perfect scores for everyone. Now, initially, what I thought was that was going to be Emma, Ray and Norman, but no, Isabella was saying it to everyone. So it's like every one of the kids gets perfect scores basically in her eyes. They pass, and she knows what she actually needs to do. As we see her and the Norns pointing a gun at Peter Rattari, and Peter is in absolute shock by this, because he thought he still had control over Isabella. He thought that her resolve had been broken so much that there was no way that she would actually betray him, and you just get the complete shock on Peter's face, like just his eyes sucking back into his face. You know what? I need to actually show you guys just how shocked he actually is. So let me bring it up again. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. So let's go to the bottom of the chapter. Let's zoom in. Yeah, there it is. you can actually, yeah, you can actually see just like the eyes shrinking back to his face, like, oh shit! I thought I had control over everything here. I had no idea that the nuns were Grandma and Isabella were actually planning to turn against me at some point. But here we are. And again, also this shocks Emma as well, because she actually thought that Mama was actually going to kill her. But no, it's like, holy shit, she's actually on our side all along. And this actually gets Peter really pissed off, and he's like, "You betrayed me, Isabella!" And that's where the chapter ends. So, okay, few things to say about this chapter. Let's just get the negative out of the way. Big negative, Vincent didn't die, and that was absolutely something that should have happened to give more drive to the series. And if he had actually died and we were at this point, then Norman could have had a face of like, "We won, Vincent, we won." But anyway, Sid gets it. Now, Sid was, when I first started off the Promised Neverland doing reviews back in Worcester, Sid actually appeared in a few of them himself, and he always suspected that Isabella was a good guy. So yeah, he was right. Took us a long time to get to this moment, but he was right. He gets a cookie. He wins the internet. Now, yes, even though it's revealed that Isabella was on their side all this time, she had not given into the status quo as much as we were led to believe, and and again like she was honest that she was always looking to undermine Peter O'Toole and get out of here. It still doesn't take away from the fact that she allowed kids to actually be sent off and shipped. Maybe she could have like manipulated and pulled the strings and been like, yeah, this kid is actually more intelligent than they're letting on, so why don't Peter take it to Lamborghini? Because then that would have at least given them a chance to actually survive. But no. So yeah. Still, I can't argue that fact. Like, Sid was right, but still, Isabella, not necessarily the saint that she is, but ultimately, now we know that she really just wanted to get out of there herself just as much as the kids as well. And I feel like the way that she actually saw that was that because Emma, Ray, Norman, and all of them did actually manage to escape. I feel like when they first escaped, she actually could see now, like, okay, I shouldn't have given up, and maybe there is a chance that I can still get out of here myself if I play my cards right. And she did, and we're at this point right now. So, and she probably discussed this with all the other nuns themselves, probably thinking like, okay, this is what needs to happen. These kids have escaped, and there is a chance, and they've actually destroyed the 5 regiment houses. So there is a chance that we can actually get out of this situation ourselves as well, and we don't have to be fully under the grasp of the demons anymore. But I'm still not happy of the fact that people are just like Isabella's a good guy because she still has a lot of blood in her hands. But anyway, guys, that was the chapter. So, pretty good chapter, all things considered, considering there wasn't that much action here. I did have a few points that were kind of like, yeah, I'm not too sure. But anyway, guys, what I think is going to happen next week is that all the members of the Atari clan are going to be rounded up, and we're actually going to get Sondrio and Musica out of the situation that they're actually in. I feel like we're going to start getting them out of the situation that they're in, and then once they're out, and once peace has been restored to the Demon King, to the Demon Kingdom, the humans can actually go into the human world themselves. But we'll see. Like I said, I feel like there's only less than 10 chapters left at this point. Like, maybe 11 chapters, because we're on 169. Next chapter's going to be 170. So maybe at least 10 chapters. 10 chapters left, rounding up at chapter 180. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Join the Anime Burrito Discord if you haven't already. And this will be Lush and Luke signing off. Later, guys!